Okay, and we're live. Hello, everybody. Whoever is joining the group, we're live recording this video from Ajijic, Mexico, hometown of Yoga Veda. We're about to begin. We're waiting for people to join. And we're going to begin to check the questions that we are receiving. Recording this video from Ajijic. Okay, so the first question we have here is, what is Ayurveda? That's one of course, the most common questions we get, since Ayurveda, for most of Westerners, is not a thing they hear about every day, but it's getting more and more common with every new day. So Ayurveda is an old science. It's a very ancient science, about 5,000 years. Of course, it's been evolving, so it have new stages. But the more ancient points of Ayurveda are recorded to be about 5,000 years old. I'm not an expert in Ayurveda, yet our school works with all of the principles of Ayurveda. We have another people that take care of that part. But Ayurveda pretty much is a science that works together with nature and takes in account nature and the natural balances that the nature itself offers to heal the living beings that inhabit in it. So that is a very simple way to understand Ayurveda. It is not easy. Sorry, I'm reading the questions as we're speaking. It is never easy to explain something that is that old. Like I just said, 5,000 years old. Even in the courses, after 1 month course, it's not an easy thing to comprehend this very complex and complete science. But often we find out that the easiest way to understand the principles of Ayurveda is just observe nature. Is look at nature and understand the basic principles of nature. That will naturally start giving you an insight to understand Ayurveda better, even though you might have a hard time with the terminology, the terms, the language that's used, which is Sanskrit. At the end of the day, if you understand nature, you will start finding the correlations between Ayurveda and nature existence and the natural balance that the universe is constantly moving with. So that's basically how I will answer that question. Moving on, if you have more interest in learning about Ayurveda, of course, we offer that's what some of our courses are about, to teach in depth what Ayurveda is. We have very basic courses and some other ones that goes from 1 month to 2 years. If you're interested, just contact us and we will give you more information. Even if you just want to learn more about Ayurveda and not do a course, we can point you in the right direction so you can start learning by yourself a little bit more about it. Talking a little bit about us as an institution, Ayurveda, Yoga Veda. I'm sorry. We began with Yoga Veda. The original name actually was Yoga Life. About six something years ago, and it all began with the intention of sharing yoga, and eventually, when we found Ayurveda, to share also Ayurveda. We found out that it is still to the day is a big hole in between Ayurveda and yoga, and it seems that most of people don't don't relate them as much as they actually are naturally connected. Um, so it was my partner, Jackie, being the Ayurveda specialist, and me regarding the therapy and yoga aspect of, decided that it was just the natural course. It didn't feel forced. It was something that it was just meant to be because it's been that way for a long time. But since yoga moved to the Western countries, and somehow it adapted to our ways of living and thinking, Ayurveda moved a little bit to the side. With this, I'm not trying to say that nobody knows about Ayurveda in the West. Of course, there are a lot of people that know about Ayurveda, but even then, some people seems to keep a distance between Ayurveda and yoga, a separation, and of course they combine them. But with this imaginary line in between them, and it's a line that's never really been there. Even though they are separate sciences, they complement each other, and one is without wanting constantly and interacting with the other one. So, like I said, for us, it was just following the natural course of things to combine. And of course, after doing marketing research and all that, we found out that not many people were actually offering this type of courses where Ayurveda and yoga are taught as one. So we decided to do that. And of course, there are other courses out there that are attempting to do that, and we also support them. No, it's a great thing. This is the way it should be. Um, but that's what we do pretty much. Of course, we didn't start like that. We started like most of people do, with teaching only yoga. Eventually, when we found Ayurveda in India and began to study it, found out that it was a done deal. It couldn't be in a different way. So since then, we've been pretty much devoting all of our time to make sure that our courses are combining both of those sciences, yoga and Ayurveda. Let's see if we have more questions. Okay, talk a little bit about the background. Yeah, I'm already talking about the background of how we started with this in regard to us. Well, I'm a behavioralist. I studied animal behavior, animal conditioning, and been a yoga practitioner for a long time, mainly focused on meditation since probably about 18 years ago. And Jacqueline Richard, my partner, been the Ayurvedic specialist, having about 5 years of studying Ayurveda, and that's pretty much where we come from. I don't like to talk much about background and stuff. You can read it on the website if you're more interested in learning more about exactly where we studied and all of that stuff. You can go to our website and or request that information. Let's see. Check for more questions. Well, also as people ask what's yoga, what's Ayurveda, sorry, often also people ask the same about yoga. What is yoga? And of course, most of people are more familiar with the word yoga. Uh, I'm specifically talking in the Western countries, in the Western Hemisphere. People mention and regard yoga as this the physical practice that we go into this space and then practice for about an hour. And yes, that is pretty accurate to define yoga, but it's staying short in terms of what yoga is. And yoga is more than just a physical exercise. That's something we also put a lot of emphasis in our courses. Um, Actually, there is much more inside of yoga than just physical practice. It's a philosophy, it's a way of living, and there are many ways of describing it, and many people have their own particular opinions. Most of people will agree that it's a philosophy, it's part of the six main Hindu philosophies. But you can make it a way of living. And by doing that means that you pretty much could practice yoga 24/7. Yeah, even when you're sleeping. There's a practice called Yoga Nidra. We're not going to talk about it right now, but yes, you can practice yoga 24/7. So the philosophy itself, which it was created or we came across as a human species or as a kind, about the same time that Ayurveda came up, which it was also about 5,000 years ago. Yoga was also being born, and it didn't start exactly as a physical practice. The purpose was to support the human, the practitioner, to reach liberation, what they call, or self-realization. So is sort of this map that helps you to find your way in the journey. Not that we need a map. Some people believe we already have that map inside of us, but it's a comprehensive way and system that helps you to not just cope with life, but to really find fulfillment and contentment in every aspect of life. That is what the main purpose of yoga is. And that is, again, something that we put a lot of emphasis in our courses to make sure that people understand that they can practice yoga at pretty much every moment in their life. And actually, the time they practice in their mat is very limited. 1 or 2 hours a day you could dedicate to that. You still have another 20 something hours to continue consciously or unconsciously practicing all of the teachings of yoga. Also making a parenthesis to remark that yoga is not a religion. Often people confuse it with Hinduism, and even though it's one of the six philosophies of Hinduism, it is not a religion, because in India, of course, most of Indians are Hindus. Then it's naturally combined and blended one with the other. So it's very common in India to see the system as one. But you can be a yogi and not be a Hindu. So good thing to remind. Let's see if we have more questions. Okay, somebody's asking about our programs, in particular about the self-healing program. One of the programs we're running right now here in Nahihik is the self-healing program. As the words say, the self-healing, well, it's an invitation. It's a program that's pretty much an invitation for us to reconnect with ourselves. We offer different techniques and different tools that allows people to disconnect from the daily life stress and so on, and to reconnect with themselves, to practice what now is so famous, the mindfulness, you know, which the word itself we could say is new, but the practice itself is quite antique, as old as yoga, being one of the benefits of the practice of yoga. So the self-healing program, it's pretty much a program that can be built up according to the needs of the person in terms of time. How much time do you have? Of course, often we recommend no less than a week. Not saying with this that a week will be enough to fix all of your problems, but to realize that in the beginning there was no problem at all. So it's a program that it invites the participants to more than fix the problems of their life, is to find out that it's all about changing perception and perspective, and that the problems don't exist on the outside; it exists in the mind. So one of the tools that we use is the sacred breath, which is an ancient yogi technique, form of pranayama, in which we are using our breath to unlock all of the emotional blockages that we're holding, that we are accumulating throughout our life, and that we are not naturally being able to let go of. So, along with other practices and techniques, we engage on a journey of a week or whatever time the participant decides to come, to find the right tools for them to use. There is not one tool that works for all, and that's mainly the purpose of the program. Is not a specific set of tools that if everybody used will work. We of course have tools that recommend to everybody, but sometimes at some points certain people need certain different tools, and not all of them work at the same moment in life for everybody. So it's a program that moved on in a very organic way, we could say, in which you will advance or move on as much as you're able to. And more importantly, you will be able to take tools with you that you will be using in your daily life. Again, like I said a few minutes ago, we are not trying to find um, the solution for the problems of your life and send you back home feeling like nothing ever happened. Of course, you will notice it during the program. You will notice the improvement, but the extent of that improvement during is going to depend, of course, in your commitment to it and in the afterwards work. And that is the most important part of it. And that's something we've been emphasizing for the last 5 years with the retreat center we had in Thailand and now here in Mexico. It's not about coming to a place for 3, 4, 5 days and pretend that in those days or weeks, everything will just vanish. You will get into a better state of mind and body, but the real work begins when we go back home and we commit to those tools, to those techniques, and to that new perception, and we live our lives based on those, on that point of view, using those techniques and so on. It applies to a diet. It applies to a way of thinking. If we are not constant and committed, well, then not the results will not be permanent. Will be temporary. So that's pretty much what the self-healing program is about. If you want to know more about it, just check our website again. Contact us if you have specific questions about anything. If you cannot find the answer in the website, you can contact us directly, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. Let's see, we have more questions. Okay. Also, we're asking if these programs are sort of like vacations, and that's actually a very good point. Um, Often people, of course, are stressed and need a time out and to move away from their daily routines. And of course, I don't like to say this is not a time that you will enjoy, that you will rest, but definitely the intention of particular of the self-healing program um, is not to put you in a mindset of I'm on a holiday. Um, like I said, definitely you will have a nice time and enjoy your time going to the spa and so on in nature in this very nice town. But definitely is a time that we take for committing to ourselves and committing to find the root of our unhappiness and of our stress, and to commit to make the necessary changes to move on and take those tools with you, so these things just disappear eventually from your life. So if I have to directly answer that question and say that no, the program is not definitely a holiday, it's not a vacation. Um, and now we have here, okay, asking about pranayams and meditation. How do they work? How do they help us? Um, Pranayams and meditation are part of the yoga philosophy again. There are different ways to approach them, but pretty much the pranayams and meditation are part of the eight limbs of what some yogis call the Patanjali eight steps of yoga, or the Patanjali yoga. Not that they were created by him, he simply put them together and explain them very well. Meditation and pranayams exist before Patanjali. Pranayam pretty much means control of vital force, the prana, which is what the universe is made of, the vital energy that surrounds us. Actually, it's quite interesting. Uh, Now, science, I don't know how long ago, but they found out this dark energy and dark matter, and they still don't know exactly what it is. But it's interesting that when you compare all of what you have to say about the vital energy, the one you cannot see, as they say, prana cannot be seen, cannot be touched, cannot be found, at least not yet. And they talk the same about this dark energy and dark matter that takes over 95% of the universe that we live in. So when you think about that, 5% only of the universe is physical, is what we see, the stars, planets, and so on. The rest of it, 95, is we cannot see it. We haven't been able to find it. They know it's there. And that's for some yogis what is prana, is this dark matter or dark energy, the two different concepts mean two different things. Um, so anyways, the yogi said that this prana is all over us. And from that understanding, they know that when you're able to manipulate, to capture this prana, um, and utilize it, you can, what would be the best way to describe it? You can increase your inner energy or the energy system. Um, and they found out that the best way to do that was with the breath. So with the breathing, they started to play with it and eventually found out that yeah, the prana exists, or most of the prana we have exists in the air that we breathe. Therefore, the best way to capture the prana is by breathing or practicing the pranayams. Um, there are many kinds of pranayams. It's not it's not a specific group of things we can call pranayamas. As far as you are moving energy in and out of the systems, you are practicing pranayama. So not necessarily you have to breathe. Prana also can be taken through food and all that. We won't go deep into that, but just explaining a bit of what pranayama is. Meditation, same story. In the modern day yogis, we understand meditation as the step number 7 of the Patanjali Yoga, and is the step right before samadhi or self-realization. Um, Meditation as asana yoga is quite famous nowadays, and is becoming very useful for a lot of people out there. Yet most of people haven't been able to truly unleash all of the powers of meditation. Um, it's not necessary, again, to be a yogi to practice meditation. It's not necessary to understand anything about yoga to practice meditation either. Um, but it's a good complement in case of the yoga philosophy. Is a good complement to put, and in the case of Patanjali, the Patanjali steps of yoga, to put other steps before meditation, since meditation is a practice that we don't do. It's something that happens. It's good to include other practices before, in order to get ready for reaching the meditative states. Um, we'll have to go in an interview exclusively talking about meditation to go deep into the subject. But again, if you're interested, in our Facebook page, the Yoga Veda Facebook page, and on our website, there is plenty of information that helps to explain in different ways, probably better ways than I could do, um, what is meditation, what is pranayams. What is important, and I see, is to not get caught in the names, in the practices, but to understand the final goal. And the final goal is as they say or they describe as self-realization. I could translate that because sometimes people they feel the term of self-realization a little foreign. But I translate that term as just finding contentment in daily life, um, finding inner peace in daily life and in every day of life. Um, and again, that is the purpose of practicing pranayama or practicing meditation or asana yoga or any of the practices that the yoga philosophy recommends, that Ayurveda recommends, is at the end of the day is to help us to find that inner peace and that contentment. And that is the purpose of all of our programs. That is the purpose of me making this video. Is to invite everybody to find ways. It might not necessarily have to be through yoga or Ayurveda, but um, is our way to encourage people to dig a little deeper inside of themselves and do the necessary work to find that inner peace and contentment we're all looking for. Some of us call it happiness. The yogis call it self-realization. Um, Either way. Okay, let's check if we have more questions. Okay, so I think we're about to finish. And of course, not before thanking you for watching and inviting you to, if any of this resonates with you, to check the website, to check the Facebook page, and regardless of which one is, either it's mine or whoever, just go out there and do the necessary job to find that fulfillment, that contentment, that happiness. And check the links down in the video, of course, to check our website and so on. Share your thoughts. Maybe you're doing something similar to what we're doing. Let's work together. Let's make it happen. Let's make the change happen. Thank you very much.